Phoebe, thank you. Well, Microsoft has warned users of Windows 10 around the world to update their software as soon as possible to minimise the risk of cyber attacks now that support for the program has officially ended. Tech whiz kid Austin Turpin is the founder of FlipTech Australia and joins us now in the studio. Austin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Tash.
Why should we care about Windows 10?
Well, because Windows 10 is now deprecated. It no longer is being updated. When you turn your computer on and it runs this annoying update, most of the time that's for security reasons, because as hackers get more sophisticated, so too do the defences against them. Now, Windows 10 is no longer being updated, which means that every computer running Windows 10, especially over time, will become more and more susceptible to cyber attack.
Why haven't we known about this?
I have to answer the question every day. I have no idea. And in Australia, 40% of the computers that we use as a nation are still operating Windows 10. And it's no longer being updated whatsoever. So it is honestly the biggest, it's the news story that I can't believe isn't being shown around the world.
So what does that expose us to? How susceptible are we by not having this effective anymore?
Well, it'll get worse over time. So technology is improving at a rapid rate and things are getting more and more difficult to understand. As we move into the future, hackers, cyber attacks get more sophisticated, and as we all know, Australia loves a cyber attack. Yeah. I mean, it happens seemingly every month at this point, and so it means that as we move forward, the risk is going to increase. So perhaps today, perhaps not tomorrow, but in 6 months, in a year, as the software Windows 10 doesn't keep up with new risks being invented, being innovated, it means that the risk will mount and mount and mount, and it's already happened. It's just going to get worse.
So we're basically unprotected.
We are unprotected, and we've been left in the dust. We've been left to fend for ourselves. So if you're running Windows 10, effectively, you've really been left to your own devices here, is what's happened.
So is there a Windows 11? Like, what software do we update to make sure, especially at home, that we are guarded and not vulnerable to serious cyber attacks?
So the answer is that we need to be operating on software which is being regularly updated. Like Windows 11 is still under current support for sure, and Windows 11's been around for quite a few years now. So most people are actually on Windows 11, but there is still quite a big minority. As I said, in Australia it's almost 40% there that is running Windows 10. So it's urgent that we get onto Windows 11 as a nation, and frankly it's been made a lot more difficult than it really needs to be. I mean, it's actually quite difficult to know if you're running Windows 10, Windows 11. The layman really doesn't know. And so that's why I have to answer the question every day, to protect even my parents, my grandparents, my friends, uncles, everybody. Nobody seems to know at all.
And also major companies.
Absolutely. That's where the biggest risk lies. As you can imagine, cyber criminals are not attacking, generally they're not attacking individuals. The big juicy target for them is corporate. So we have a lot of corporates. We're seeing e-waste being thrown out en masse. This is the biggest creator of electronic waste in human history. And so corporates are throwing out hundreds, thousands of devices which do not support Windows 11. That's what we're seeing at the moment.
It's such a massive story, Austin. Thank you so much for joining us to shed some light on it. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.